When the U.S. government shuts down, America itself goes offline with monuments locking up and travelers being turned away. This is America is Closed, How the Shutdown is Killing U.S. Tourism. Just like that, within hours, the world's most visited nation grinds to silence. The shutdown begins quietly, a late-night announcement, a countdown on cable news. And then by morning, reality hits. Park rangers, TSA staff, museum workers, all furloughed. Millions of government employees wake up to find their jobs on pause, their pay uncertain. Across the country, tourists face locked gates and handwritten close signs. Families who traveled halfway across the world for Yosemite or the Grand Canyon stare through fences, realizing nature itself has been placed under restriction. Washington, D.C.'s National Mall, usually a symbol of openness, turns eerily still. Airports feel the ripple first, with security lines stretching longer as fewer staff handle the same crowds. Hotel phones ring non-stop with cancellations as tour guides, shuttle drivers, and even small business owners brace for a wave of no-shows. In the first 24 hours, the shutdown isn't just a political story, it's a logistical collapse. Behind every missed tour and empty restaurant table lies a network of people losing income by the minute. The close signs might look temporary, but to millions dependent on tourism, each passing hour feels permanent, a slow, silent freeze spreading across America's most welcoming landmarks. And nowhere is the silence louder than in America's national parks. Within days, the country's most visited parks fall silent. Yosemite closes its visitor centers, Yellowstone's gates restrict entry, the Grand Canyon limits access to only essential staff. Millions of tourists are turned away. Furloughed rangers mean basic maintenance stops, trash collection halts, restrooms lock, and information booths go dark. Without supervision, some visitors enter illegally, leaving behind litter and safety hazards. The absence of staff turns open landscapes into unmanaged zones. Each day of closure drains local economies. Gateway towns like Springdale, West Yellowstone, and Tusayan lose hotel bookings, restaurant traffic, and tour revenue. For small businesses that rely entirely on visitor flow, a single week without tourism can erase months of income. In the 2019 shutdown, parks reported damage to trails, vandalized facilities, and overflowing waste, problems that cost millions to repair once operations resumed. The closures also disrupted school trips, photography tours, and international travel itineraries planned months in advance. The shutdown is more than a political gridlock. It's a full stop on one of America's most profitable national industries, where every locked gate equals real economic loss. In major cities, the tourism chain begins to snap. We're talking hotels in Washington, D.C. reporting hundreds of cancellations within days. Museums closing down, school tours vanishing, and restaurants built around tourist traffic sitting half empty at best. Each empty hotel room triggers a cascade, meaning fewer taxis, fewer meals sold, and much smaller tips for service workers. Orlando, the heart of America's theme park economy, feels the slowdown next. Families planning multi-park vacations cancel after hearing of closed federal attractions and delayed flights. Even though private parks stay open, perception matters. Visitors hesitate to spend when uncertainty looms. Over on the West Coast, San Francisco sees international bookings drop drastically as the visa processing stalls. Tour operators straight up pause campaigns targeting overseas markets, knowing travelers will choose destinations that feel stable and far more predictable. The U.S. Travel Association estimated the 2013 shutdown alone cost the tourism industry $152 million per day. That's right, per day. And these are all losses concentrated in just hotels, food services, and transportation. Small tour companies and local guides, already operating on thin margins, have no, and I mean absolutely no cushion. What begins as a government standoff quickly turns into a liquidity crisis for tourism-dependent cities, especially where every hour of shutdown multiplies into thousands of dollars lost across entire communities. And behind the scenes, another crisis unfolds. Paperwork stops moving everywhere. Tourism doesn't just depend on open parks in busy cities. It depends on paperwork. During a shutdown, passport offices reduce staff, visa processing stalls, and embassy services slow to a crawl. Travelers waiting for approval face silence. What's normally a 2-week process stretches into months. For international visitors, that uncertainty changes plans fast. Families cancel U.S. trips, tour groups reroute to Canada or to Europe, and business travelers postpone conferences that would have filled hotels and restaurants. Each lost booking compounds the damage. At airports, it's increasingly common to see more flight delays. Security bottlenecks frustrate travelers who are already on edge, while airlines are forced to absorb the rising costs from the disrupted schedules. Customs officers prioritize essential traffic, leaving tourists at the bottom of the queue. Even diplomatic programs built around cultural exchange take a hit. Student visas, artist residences, and research trips freeze mid-process, cutting off soft power links that normally strengthen America's global image. You see, tourism, it's not just movement. It's really about trusting in reliability. But when paperwork stalls, so does confidence. And once foreign travelers start doubting America's consistency, recovery takes more than just reopening offices. It takes rebuilding credibility, one delayed passport at a time. The shutdown's reach doesn't stop at U.S. borders. It actually spreads worldwide. Outside of the United States, the image of reliability begins to fracture. For international tour operators, America becomes a high-risk destination, making it just one political deadlock away from closure. Clients don't want uncertainty, so agencies pivot to Canada, Europe, and parts of Asia where infrastructure and access feel almost guaranteed. All global airlines respond quickly, with routes into major U.S. cities seeing temporary reductions and marketing budgets shifting toward more stable destinations. Online booking platforms register a visible pattern. Searches for American trips drop, while European and Australian markets rise. Travel influencers and media coverage accelerate the perception change. Headlines showing shuttered landmarks and stranded tourists make their way across social platforms. To global audiences, the U.S. appears unpredictable, even chaotic, a costly image problem for a country that once branded itself as open and welcoming. International partnerships also feel the strain. Joint tourism campaigns are postponed, sponsorship deals frozen, and long-term collaborations delayed. For the global travel industry, consistency is currency, and America's value just took a massive hit. When the world's leading tourism destination starts missing from travel itineraries, the damage is more than just economic. It's damaging reputation and reshaping how the world plans to visit the U.S. in the future, the very near future. And even after the shutdown ends, the damage doesn't disappear overnight. When the government reopens, the switch doesn't flip instantly. Federal employees return, parks unlock, and agencies resume operations. But the momentum is gone. Tourists have already rebooked elsewhere, airlines have adjusted schedules, and tour operators have shifted focus to more stable markets. Local economies feel the delay the hardest. Hotels that lost peak season bookings don't recover those nights. Restaurants that cut staff during closures can't rehire immediately. For small towns near national parks, the losses from one shutdown can take a full year to offset. Internationally, rebuilding trust takes even longer. Travelers remember the headlines, the uncertainty, the canceled plans. For many, the United States no longer feels guaranteed, it feels conditional. That perception quietly reshapes global tourism flows for seasons to come. Even when visitors eventually return, spending patterns shift. Shorter stays, smaller group sizes, and lower advance bookings become the new normal. Marketing campaigns must work twice as hard to restore the sense of reliability that once came naturally. The shutdown may last weeks, but its shadow stretches for years, and that's a reminder that every closure leaves a dent in the world's confidence to visit America again.